So the New York Times, their big takeaway from the debate with Gavin Newsom and DeSantis is that it was unfair, that it was stacked together. Of course, it was on the Sean Hannity show on Fox. That would be like me saying, you know what, I'm going to go on and I'm going to debate Gavin Newsom on CNN. And then the big takeaway from the Blaze was, it was unfair.
Right.
Of course it was unfair.
I don't even know if it's fair to say it was unfair.
No, but it was slanted. It was slanted. You're on
Hannity's
Fox.
a conservative, right?
He's a conservative. And quite honestly, you've got DeSantis, who is really good.
Yeah, really good. It's really so good. The taking of this debate by Newsom is a high degree of difficulty, right? Mm-hmm. It's not an easy task to go on the Hannity show and try to beat Ron DeSantis in a debate. But I will say, like, it's one of those things that, like, going in.
Right.
If you don't think you can absolutely dominate Ron DeSantis, you do not take this opportunity, quote unquote opportunity. Sure. And so a couple of takeaways from this, from the big picture, and we should play some of the clips. Number one, Newsom basically blew up his career last night.
Well, he had a good chance.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't take this on unless you're somebody that can actually, do it, knock him out. You had to be so confident that you could walk into an opposing field, where things are going to be stacked against you just because,
right.
And take him on and have a couple of knockout punches. Did he have any?
No, it was really a catastrophe for him. And so you had that, the interesting part of this, and if you're going to take this in a way that is going to make you understand the Newsom choice,
right?
This was basically the last wall here for the person who wants to say, we need to replace Joe Biden. Like, this is not working with Biden. We need someone who is going to do something different than lose with an 81-year-old candidate, right? Like, you need somebody who's going to do something impressive. Let me give you a different scenario here.
Okay.
You have a situation where Gavin Newsom comes into this very unfriendly room against a tough candidate and destroys Ron DeSantis in the debate.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that happens. There would be people excited to say, guys, look, we love Joe Biden. He's served our party for 50 years, but come on. He's losing to Donald Trump. Gavin Newsom would destroy Donald Trump. We've got to make that move. And this is about the last chance you have to make a move like that.
All right, let me go on a couple of...
It didn't happen, though, right? So he had an opportunity here. It didn't happen.
Right. So here is a clip, DeSantis versus Newsom. Watch this.
The stats are very clear.
One at a time.
On a per capita age-adjusted basis, California and Florida basically the same. Now, why is that important? Because Gavin Newsom did huge damage to people in California. He ruined livelihoods. We reopened the state very quickly. We saved thousands of jobs. We saved hundreds of thousands of jobs, thousands of businesses. We had our kids in school. He had the kids locked out of school because of the teachers union. That is having a generational impact. California has one of the lowest literacy rates in the country. In the most recent NAEP exam, Florida came in number 3 for 4th grade reading. California was far, far behind. So you should apologize for not getting your kids in school. Why didn't you get the kids in school in the summer of 2020 like we did? You bowed to the teachers union. You didn't do the job you should have done.
Right. I mean, that's what would happen in any debate.
Right.
So that's not unfair. And I don't think Hannity was unfair.
No, I don't. I mean, look, he's a conservative. Everyone knows he's a conservative.
It's just stacked against you. It's Gavin Newsom going into enemy territory. But I got news for you, gang. That's what Republicans do.
All the time.
Every debate.
Every debate is that way for conservatives.
Right. Okay, so here he is on the gender books in schools. Cut 5.
Or is it the role of the school? What is the role?
The role of the school is to educate kids, not indoctrinate kids. It's not to impose an agenda. It's to do the basics. And what we've said in Florida is it's inappropriate to tell a kindergartner that their gender is a choice. It's inappropriate to tell a second grader that they may have been born in the wrong body. Now, California has that. They want to have that injected into the elementary school. My wife and I have a 7, 5, and a 3-year-old. We don't think that that's appropriate. And I know most parents do not think it's appropriate. It's also important to respect parental rights to know what curriculum is being used in the classroom, and everything should be age appropriate. I actually have something that I brought that some parents have objected to. So this is a book that's in some of the schools in California. In Florida, this is not consistent with our standards, called Gender Queer. Some of it's blacked out. You would not probably be able to put this on air. This is pornography. It's cartoons. It's aimed at children, and it's wrong. So this should not be in schools. When people like on the left say that somehow you're banning books by removing this from a young kid's classroom, no, this is not age appropriate. And so we're going to stand for the rights of parents. I think we need to do that nationwide. I don't think you can have a situation where some states just trample on the rights of parents. Parents have a fundamental right to direct the education and upbringing of their kids.
I have to tell you, I think DeSantis should take this as a massive win. What Gavin Newsom was trying to do to tell the Democrats, I'll destroy these guys, DeSantis just did.
This should be DeSantis' entire campaign right now. Show people what it would look like if he were the candidate. If he were in the general, this is what you would get. Remind people that this is what he should do. Now, look, you're not going to get idiotic governors to come debate you, and it wouldn't make any sense to do debates with other governors. But you do have an entire liberal media. You have The View. You have a million opportunities where you could go and do these types of things. And it's like, take those opportunities and show people, don't try to walk. Like, it's difficult to walk the line, right? As a Republican candidate in this primary, we've seen 0 people be successful since Trump walked in. Dozens of candidates have tried this, right? It's really hard to walk this line because a lot of people really like Trump. You can't really say anything bad about him. It's just a difficult thing to do. This is not difficult. There's a million people on the left that are going to want to take their shot at Ron DeSantis. Go in there and mix it up with the left constantly. Act like you're the general election candidate. Go there and show everybody how much better you'll be than any of the other candidates, and that's probably his best path to actually winning this
Let's
thing.
go to cut 7 quickly. Here's Newsom.
You think he's 100%?
I've been spending plenty of time with Joe
100%?
Biden in private and public. You don't know. And by the way, results matter. Inflation now is down to 3.2%. Wages are up to 4.4%. The economy is booming, 5.2% GDP growth in the last quarter. Those are facts you don't hear on Fox News. 14 million jobs, 10 times more than the last.
Let me move on. That was the lightning round. Now, on March 31st.
Bidenomics, he's selling it. Good for...
Yeah, by the way, Biden has stopped saying this.
I know.
Have you noticed this?
Yeah.
He has not said it in a month.
I know.
He has not said... He was touting Bidenomics constantly, and all of a sudden he's just completely stopped saying it.
Right. Let me play one more here. This is DeSantis showing a map of San Francisco. Watch this.
This is a map of San Francisco. There's a lot of plots on that. You may be asking, what is that plotting? Well, this is an app where they plot the human feces that are found on the streets of San Francisco. And you see how almost the whole thing is covered. Because that is what has happened in one of the previous greatest cities this country's ever had. Human feces is now a fact of life, except when a communist dictator comes to town. Then they cleaned up the streets. They lined the streets with Chinese flags. They didn't put American flags there. They cleaned everything up. So they're willing to do it for a communist dictator, but they're not willing to do it for their own people.
Incredible.
He was stunning. He was stunning last night.
And this is one of the things. Gavin Newsom, in theory, is much better than Gavin Newsom in reality.
Oh, yeah.
This idea that this is always a younger guy, he's a good-looking guy, he's well-spoken. Watch him. All you can say watching that television screen last night, any rational observer would look at Gavin Newsom and just think the word douche. That is who that guy is. I know it's not the nicest way to put it. I got it. But that is all you would think about watching him. And the idea that this is their bench, this is the guy that they're depending on for the future of the party.
Right.
It should give you incredible optimism for the future of conservatism.